I'm still at y'all there. What you get?
I don't want to have to go to a funeral with that kind of stuff.
Morning.
I think that we need to
Recording in progress.
be stricken.
It's in the budget. Leave it on the budget. Discuss what we're gonna.
Well, I mean, I think we need to ask them.
Okay.
All right, good morning, everyone. Let's call court to order. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on August 15th, 2024 at 3:25 p.m.
Okay, thank you. Let's stand brief for a moment of silence and remember our friends that we lost this week, and then we'll let the pledge to the flags.
Please join in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas pledge.
Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, are there any members of the audience who want to speak to the court on business matters? Please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'd like to go to under D, under budget amendments, transfer of charges, under D1 regarding the FY25 budget. Francis?
Thank you. So today, to start out, we're going to do some summary information for you on the budget and tax rate. But I just want to go back to our changes since the proposed was filed. And you voted on that list on the last agenda. We have two more items that popped up since that meeting. So we want to cover those with you. And we thought it was necessary to go ahead and put those in the budget just to eliminate the need for a budget amendment next year.
Okay.
So the one there on the screen at the top, this is for Constable 1. You approved 2 vehicles in this current fiscal year. The upfitting for those vehicles is taking longer than expected, which is something common we've been seeing now the last few years. But that's going to push receiving those final vehicles until next year. So this is the cost of the upfitting. And we have heard from the vendor that it more than likely, of course, is going to be after October 1st. So we'd like to go ahead, that was budgeted this year, we'd like to go ahead and move that into next year. And then the next 2 lines are for food services at Jack Harwell and Highway 6. So we have received notice that the vendor is requesting an increase of 4.1% increase in that contract. That contract has not come to you yet, but that is what we will be seeing when that does come to you for this next year. So we'd like to go ahead and accommodate that increase as well, and you'll see those numbers on the far side, the 50,000 and the 35,000. And so if you're agreeable with both of those, I'd like to request that be an item that you make a motion and vote on those as well to add to that list of changes.
And I'm assuming that the food service contract been reviewed by the sheriff's department and they are okay with these changes. No.
It follows the consumer price index. I mean, there's a specific index that they're following, making that.
Oh, okay. And that's in the contract?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Other questions?
So in the IT budget, can you go to that where the not the big budget, but the detailed line by line
Just one second, we'll get it pulled up.
for the softwares and different things like that.
Ken, on that vendor contract, follows that consumer price index. Do you ever know of a time where that it went the other way? In other words, you have inflation going in, because already we're seeing reduction in,
I think for the most part, since I've been here, probably runs about 3%, you know, somewhere around 3%.
yeah, okay.
So does their cost include I'm assuming they're not only, that's not only food cost, but that's also the labor to produce it and
Yeah, it's paying for their.
Transportation.
Transportation.
food, fuel, yeah. Now, is that a locked-in price for the budget year? So that's a locked-in, that's gonna be locked in?
Right.
Okay. No, there are no escalator clauses in there? If gasoline went up 400% or something, or?
That has not, to my knowledge, ever been included before.
Okay.
but they have the right, they have the right though to come in and terminate and renegotiate at some point, don't they?
Well, technically, yeah, we both do.
But, right,
So,
that's what I thought. I thought it was a two-way.
On these two items that you brought up right now, do we need a separate motion to add those to just these items that you've?
That's what I was fixing to get to, but I was waiting on her to answer Commissioner Jones's question.
So if you'll go to the Tyler software, the time and attendance line there, the last one, 96, yeah. Where are we with that process? And
So,
I don't remember us discussing time and attendance.
no, so you all
This
wanted.
time and
your-
attendance
You all
manager.
wanted your staff to see it, so we had a demo of that just a couple weeks ago. But I mean, and so now it's just, figuring out how many, what the equipment needs are in, each office. I'm trying to figure out, how many people would be involved with each type of time gathering. But
So this is just an
Or-
estimate then of what
no, that should be what it would cost.
countywide?
Yes, yes. Because it's just a, a piece of, that's added on to our Tyler. And it's just,
All right. Basic question, and I certainly don't have a problem leaving it in here, but this doesn't mean that we've approved actually using it. If we don't
Oh.
approve using it,
well, so,
then the money just stays right where it is.
yes, I mean, it's something we're gonna have to move to some form or fashion of, to get time entry into Tyler. We can't, the paper, we've got to have some additional documentation. If offices choose not to use like the time and attendance part of it, they'll have to manually enter it like they're doing now.
Like we're doing right now,
but yes.
which we already have people doing right now.
Yes,
Right,
but
but audit is, they need it. And so there's gonna be a point, we're gonna have to make a decision. Yeah, you want to do paper, great, but not at this place. Here's how you're gonna do it.
Well, we're not, I don't have a problem leaving it in the budget, but we're not sold on it, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Just being
okay.
honest with you.
And there may be
That's why I
another way
brought
to
it
do
up.
it. Maybe another way there, but we need to meet, we have to meet audit. We have to meet the requirements audit has.
I understand.
And,
I understand.
so if it's not this way, it might be another way.
We've been meeting it all the time with this.
Yeah, I mean, we passed our audit so far.
Well, I'm not really prepared to talk a lot of details, just about it today, because we're still in the works of gathering information and, and IT is involved, of course, HR, in our office. And so, we'll be bringing that soon, though. It should be very soon that we'll have another discussion in court about it. But yes, the amount is placed in there, and that would be the cost of that software.
If we choose to.
If we implement it.
Yes, for a year.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So before you needed a consensus, and then the vote comes in when we vote on the tax rate. Did you need an action on this adjustments here, or is that a consensus?
So just those two, yes, the Constable One vehicle and then the food services, yes, I'd like if you would take action on that
All right.
and vote to
Let's
include those changes.
Motion to approve those changes to the budget.
Second.
I'd have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed. All right, before we get into the hearing, I've asked Francis to give kind of an overview or synopsis of where we've been and what we're trying to achieve and what we pitched out there for the preliminary. And so if there was someone sitting here from the public or there's someone listening in through the Zoom or YouTube, we think we need to make this statement. So Francis?
Yes. So I just want to go ahead and give some information, and like you said, then we'll move to the public hearing next. So today, one of the things we are doing is voting on the fiscal year 2025 budget. So this budget includes the funds that the state mandated budget process is required for. So general fund, permanent improvement fund, debt service fund, and then the special revenue funds that you have control over. So when you vote on it today, you're voting on the proposed budget that was filed, plus these changes that you've agreed to. And so that was that listing. We approved most of it last Tuesday, and then the last two items today. The proposed budget was filed on Wednesday, July 31st with the county clerk, and it's filed there for public inspection. So it remains there if someone wants to come and look it over. It's, of course, also on the county website, which is the easiest place to look it over. In summary, the budget includes in operating expenditures an increase of about $5.9 million. And this includes a 3.11% COLA for all non-step pay employees, a 1% COLA for retirees, and that will be effective January 1st. That's the first date that can become effective. And so that COLA for the non-step employees, is one of the things that has been in place to keep positions in line with the market, but as well to try to curb turnover. You implemented a new salary framework that will allow us to review existing salaries annually and ensure that those positions remain competitive. We also have placed an estimate in the budget for law enforcement and correction employees for that change in that step pay plan. So those discussions still need to come, but that amount is within the budget. There were 12 new positions added. You included upgrades to technology for case management, law enforcement, financial management, and juror management. And then we also saw various increases just related to growth in departments and in our county. You approved increases to economic development related expenses, primarily being the transfer to the WIMDEC account. And so, of course, that has a direct positive ROI that we see in the local economy. And then finally, this is new this year, but we've implemented budgeting strategies that allows us to continue to operate at full capacity, but take into account a more realistic idea of what we're actually going to spend, so including vacancies coming under budget and those types of topics. And so although the proposed budget is an increase compared to prior years expenditure-wise. We did see property values only increase about 5% since last year, but we have still been able to support the budget needs while lowering the tax rate. And so you lean on other revenues, increases in sales tax, other services and charges, fines and fees. And then we've also been able to use a portion of our unassigned fund balance to fund that budget as well, without increasing the tax rate. And so all in all, with the proposed tax rate and the proposed budget and the changes to date, we've still been able to maintain that minimum fund balance of 33% of operating expenditures. On the tax rate side, so of course we are adopting the tax rate today, the 2024 tax rate. And so you proposed that tax rate on July 31st, and you proposed a tax rate of 0.319805. That's just a half a cent above the no new revenue rate. And even though it's a drop, because it's a little above the no new revenue, it's effectively a 1.46% increase in the rate when looking at the no new revenue rate. Compared to the current rate, that's a 1 cent decrease or a 3% drop in the rate. And if you stuck with the proposed rate today and adopted the proposed rate, you have decreased the tax rate by 21 cents since 2016. So 39% drop since 2016. Any questions or comments
Any
before
questions?
I do.
Yes.
All in, how much, if every dollar was spent in this budget from general fund to all the other funds, including permanent improvement, capital outlay, what would be the total amount? What would be that total amount, all in?
Like all expenditures?
Uh-huh.
We'll have
I mean, I
to,
always guess at it, and I would like a good hard
Yes.
number to tell people.
yes, can we pull that, because they're in different funds, so we can get that quickly, but, we'll just take a few minutes, so if we want to.
Just, you could email it to
Yes,
me
for
or
sure.
something like that.
Yes, sir.
That'd be great.
I think it's
really
a
just-
question we get a
It's really
lot.
just more for kind of informational purposes
Yes.
than anything
yes.
else.
And I think we look at general fund a lot, but when you look at all those other funds
Yeah.
together, it adds quite a
I
bit.
mean, that budget is, I mean, it's still, even with all the consolidation that we've done in the past, it's a pretty thick book. And
Yes,
um,
yes.
Okay.
We'll pull that so that you know
Yes, sir.
exactly.
Just real quick. On the changes that we have already approved, that you sent out earlier, I think.
Yes.
Can you go over again, or let me just ask you, the transfer to permanent improvement, was that where we did the ARPA funding and we moved it? Okay, okay,
Yes.
all right, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So that'll look different next year, of course, but,
Yes, all right.
Yeah.
so that's using, part of our M&O rate for permanent improvement, which
Right.
is completely allowable, and that will go towards the downtown jail conversion.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Any other questions before we open the hearing? Okay, so there's no other questions. It is 9:18. Let's open the public hearing for the proposed FY 2025 budget. And I don't think we have anyone in the audience here, and we had no one call in. And so seeing that, the public hearing is now closed. And so at this time, this is consideration of the vote to adopt the FY 2025 budget. I would make a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2025 budget as presented by the county auditor.
Second?
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion?
The only discussion I would have, Judge, would be to commend the auditor's office for the work that they put in and the remarkable budget that they presented. So, thank you very much.
Thank you all, too.
Okay, so let's call for a vote.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Judge Felton?
Aye.
Commissioner Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Pass. Under D1D, vote to ratify property tax increase reflected in the 25 budget is required. So I move to ratify the property tax increase reflected in the 2025 budget.
Second?
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Judge Felton?
Aye.
Commissioner Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Pass. Under D1E, vote to adopt the 2024 tax rate. I move that the property tax be increased by the adoption of the tax rate of 0.319805, which is made up of 0.29108 for the maintenance and operations and 0.028725 for the interest and sinking, which is effectively a 1.46% increase in the tax rate.
Second?
I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Judge Felton?
Aye.
Commissioner Jones?
Aye.
Commissioner Perry?
Aye.
Pass. Okay, congratulations, everyone. All right, under E, under additional items for discussion or potential action. Dustin or Zane, you want to go over this?
Yes, so it's E1 regarding the Texas Department of Transportation County Road Inventory Program, authorization of county road inventory map changes. Thane, did you want to cover those?
Yes, sir. So there's 15 changes here that, as you know, during the year, we find reason to change the text database to make it align more with what's actually on the ground. And so we adjust mileage as necessary. Sometimes roads lengthen, sometimes they shorten, or the names change, or various changes occur. So we maintain the database throughout the year. These are the 15 changes in your notes that we are recommending be changed in the final version of TxDOT for 2023, 2024. And so I asked that the Commissioners Court approve the county judge to sign off on the final version of this in the TxDOT database. He'll be given an email with a DocuSign for him to sign off.
Which I know how to do, so. All right, any questions for Zane? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right,
Item E2 is regarding the Local Provider Participation Fund, LPPF, authorization of intergovernmental transfer of funds under the Uncompensated Care Program. Heather?
Yes, good morning.
morning.
On occasions, they change the balance of these IGT requests, and for this uncompensated care demonstration year 13, HHSC released an update. So normally, we ask to request a IGT up to the balance in the LPPF, but I neglected to ask last time that we do so that way. So I'm back this morning to ask that we approve this request to IGT up to the balance in the LPPF, but the particular amount that's being requested this second time is $7,485,921.53.
Okay.
Same, I'm sorry, Judge, same due date as before.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve up to the balance in the LPPF, the account on the day of the IGT.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anything else to come before the court? Justin, anything?
No, sir.
All right. All right, if there's nothing else to come before the court, I want to agree with Commissioner Smith about the good job everyone did on the budget, both from the audit and budget staff, but also all the department heads and elected officials that really understood the mission that we were trying to obtain or achieve, and I think we accomplished that. And I don't know, anytime you fool with taxes, you're opening yourself to criticism, but I feel comfortable that we did the best job for the taxpayers. I want to really thank the court for all the interaction and good questions and solutions that the court came up with as well. And if there's nothing else, we stand adjourned.